Cody Rhodes went on Twitter and posted this cryptic message saying, "Don't flinch, thank you all for riding with me all this time. Love you for it, excited for what we do next." The post went viral with millions of views and almost 40,000 likes. So what does this interesting tweet mean? Well, there's a few different possibilities. The first is that WWE is pulling the double turn at SummerSlam. Many people think and are speculating that Cody is turning heel while John Cena is turning babyface in their next match in New Jersey. I hope this is the case because it would lead to very compelling TV. I think Cody's run as a babyface has gotten to the point where it needs to come to an end. A heel turn can add some life to his character, so I think it needs to happen. Another potential possibility is that he's turning heel, but he's going to involve The Rock this time around. There's a good chance that WWE is bringing Dwayne back into the mix. They could easily tell the story that Cody wants to sell his soul now that he doesn't have his belt, and he'll do anything to get it back. If this is the case, I hope that The Rock does stay in WWE at least for some time, because you can't just build a huge angle like that just to leave and never show up. Look at what he did to John Cena. A lot of people were confused about The Rock's purpose in the storyline, and so hopefully he does not do the same thing again. The third possible outcome is that Randy Orton will turn on Cody at SummerSlam, and this can happen in a couple of different ways. He can entirely screw him out of the match, costing him the belts, or he could actually RKO him after Cody wins the championship, and this can lead to Seth Rollins coming in and cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. That even opens up the possibility of Randy joining forces with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, which would be very interesting. And the last possible scenario that I see is Cody Rhodes could have potentially gotten injured, because if you look at it, the tweet does have a somewhat depressing undertone to it, and maybe an injury is putting him on the shelf for some time, meaning that he won't compete at SummerSlam. That would be a huge disaster since that is the main event of the show. It will be interesting to see what plays out, and I'm sure we will find out this Friday on SmackDown. What do you guys think this tweet means? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, we have a horrifying story regarding Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. According to TMZ, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's beach house in Southern California was burglarized at around 3 a.m. yesterday. Law enforcement say that the suspects busted through the home's near slider and took cash from the residents. No one was inside at the time of this break-in. It's scary to think about what could have happened if they were home at this time when it did occur. Thankfully, they weren't. It is upsetting to see that something like this had to happen. Not only did they lose money, but I'm sure they won't feel safe when they go back in that house in the future. The investigation is ongoing. I hope that they find these horrible people and put them behind bars, because you can't be doing things like this. Moving over to AEW, there's been many reports that have come out saying that Mercedes Money has creative control over her character and her matches. Tony Khan has confirmed that this is not true. Khan calls the rumors surrounding the topic untrue and ridiculous. This is what he said during an AEW media call. "I'm the only person with creative control over the show. I've had the final say since day one." I saw a funny tweet saying that we can't trust this report. It's not a report. If you can't trust the man himself, then I don't know what to tell you. It is understandable though why everyone thinks this is the case, because Mercedes got like 6 belts, but according to TK, he's got full creative control and there wasn't any control put in her contract. Sticking with AEW, MJF recently spoke about WWE's counter programming to AEW's All-In event, saying that it's actually a smart business move, and this is what MJF said. "You mean shows that are running at the exact same time as us, even though they claim we're not in competition? How do I feel about it? I think it's a smart business practice. I give jolly old Saint Nick and Trips a whole lot of credit. At the end of the day, if you can stomp out your competition, you're doing what is necessary. Lord knows I would. Everyone is judging them for it. I think that's silly. Don't judge them for it, but also don't be stupid. They're not doing this by happenstance. This isn't circumstantial. None of it is." This is an interesting take considering that he's with AEW, but at least he understands the business aspect of it. I don't like WWE countering them, especially when they give us such a horrible card compared to what AEW has given us. WWE should really focus on creating a good product rather than trying to just give us trash to take some viewers away from AEW. Do you remember Tiffany Stratton's savage line that she used on Charlotte and the fact that she got divorced 3 times? Well, Charlotte's finally opened up about the situation, saying this: "I think in those times when people have seen me appear rattled by the booing, those are just the times when I felt like, at least for a moment, that the boos aren't for Charlotte, instead they're for Ashley. They're for me. They're because of the way I look, or because of the energy I'm giving off as a woman, or because of the real trauma I've gone through in real life." So when it got mentioned in Chicago that I have a 0-3 record at marriages, yeah, it rocked me. I'm not too proud to tell you that. I don't need everyone thinking I'm playing 5D chess all the time. My reaction to that line was as genuine as it gets. Because, and maybe this makes me naive, but in my head, Charlotte has not been divorced. So I wasn't expecting it to come up in that promo, and then all of a sudden I had the entire arena cheering as I got mocked for something that was, and frankly still is, devastating to me. I gotta be honest, after hearing Charlotte Flair open up like that, I see Tiffany Stratton's promo in a whole new light. Yeah, it did pop the crowd and it made for a viral clip, but this right here, this is a dark side of wrestling when you go off script. Charlotte's not saying she can't handle the boos or the tough promos. She's saying that sometimes those shots hit too close, and not to Charlotte's character, but to Ashley the person. And in those moments, it stops being wrestling and starts being something real. Honestly, I respect her more for admitting this. It takes a lot of guts to say that that hurt you. It reminds us that even the most confident and dominant wrestlers, even Flair's daughter herself, are human underneath it all. And the last story is about Charlotte Flair talking about how women's ages are perceived differently than men in professional wrestling, and this is what she said. "I'm 39, but as a female wrestler who's pushing 40, I promise you there are people in this industry who already consider me old. Never mind that I'm literally younger than Cody, who is considered the face of the company, and Roman, who is probably our biggest star. Never mind that CM Punk, who I'm 7 years younger than, main events in night 1 of Mania, and John Cena, who I'm 9 years younger than, main events in night 2. Never mind that we live in an era where athletes are extending their primes for longer than ever. For men, and I say this with so much respect for the guys I just mentioned, there's no such thing as aging out. For women, though, the rules are different. For women, as depressing as it sounds, I think a lot of people still only know one way to value them, and that's as young and disposable. I never really thought about how unfair the age thing was in wrestling until Charlotte said this. She's 39, which does not seem old at all, especially when guys like Cody, Roman, Punk, and Cena are all older than her and are still main eventing and treated like top stars. But for some reason, when it comes to the women, people act like they're done the moment they hit a certain age, and I guess I just assumed the playing field was even, but clearly it's not, and that kind of sucks. Hopefully, this is something that can change, especially after Charlotte just called it out. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.